Hi, I'm Karen with KarenConradHome.com. Thank you so much for joining us today. How many of you have dreamed about redecorating your entire house, but you just haven't had the budget to complete it? Well, today I'm going to show you how to give your room and your home a whole new look with a limited budget, and you are going to be very surprised to see some of the tips and tricks that we're going to use to accomplish that. Hi, I'm Karen with Karen Conrad Home. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are still at work in our mountain home in Colorado. If you joined us for the last episode, you saw we did a beautiful dining room, and now we're on to the living room. So I have many choices here. Can you tell what my secret sauce is? It's actually pillows. You can do almost anything in a room with pillows. So that's kind of where I start. Again, I want to remind you of the palette. If you recall from the first episode, we chose our color palette. And so everything that you see on this table that we're going to be choosing from work well with our palette. So we're actually going to do 3 versions in this living room for you. The first one will be sort of a country casual that fits in very well with the mountain. The second one will be a more traditional look. And the third one, we're going to bring some contemporary elements that still work in the mountain home. So let's get started on today's episode. It will be all about a country casual look. Okay, so I have pulled all the items that are that country casual together. And I'm going to take you through each of those items as we place them so you can understand where I purchased it, what I was thinking when I put it together. So part of the country look is it's very homey. It's got a homemade look to it, but it doesn't mean that you can't still include some really elegant, neat features to it. And remember, we started with the black and white as our base, so we're definitely going to include that in here. But the pieces that we're including with it will give it a nice country look. So first of all, let me just show you some of the elements that I put together. One thing that I really like, I actually like this a lot in my own home, even though I maybe am not so much of a country decorator, but anytime that you've got words that are pleasant, love is like a great word. And so when someone comes into your home and they read that, it's like, oh, it just gives you a great feeling. So you say, where do you find something like this? Well, one place that I shop in Colorado that really has some great buys is Ross. I often go to Minnesota as well, and there's no Ross stores yet in Minnesota. But just for example, I still have the price tag on this. This was $4.99. You just can't beat it. So you'll see us incorporate that element. Also, with country, you kind of want to think outdoors. And so I went to Walmart this morning, and I got these mums for $1.97 each. And so we put them in a basket, and it just gives it a nice look along with some color. You're going to notice that even though our color palette is more of a rust color, we're going to be pushing into the reds a little bit, but it goes really well with it. You'll see it all come together. So we'll be working with this. And I made another tray. Like I said, I told you that you would see these again. I love these. I use them all over my house. And so what I did is I got this on clearance actually at Hobby Lobby. So again, I had my son put these handles on for me, and I just kind of liked the random circles. I thought those were kind of cool. When you mix it with the elegant frame, it just gives it a nice country look. And as you can see, it's got kind of a barnwood type texture to it as well. So this is a tray that we'll be using today. Then, this is Walmart again. I really like the look of these jars, and I have to admit, I really like candy corn as well. So we purchased these jars. They're like $4.97, $5.97, $6.97, I think, for the largest. And we put some candy in there. And then I just got these vinyl stickers that are chalkboard. And so it gives you a nice look. It tells you what it is, but it's just kind of in right now to have that chalkboard look. So you'll be seeing us use that. And then also, this is Well, it's a bird, but look at the color. It's our nice green color, and it's just got kind of a neat look to it. So I use birds a lot. It's nature, and it's just a nice way to bring in that green from our palette. Then I've got these great mugs on clearance. These were $1.50 each, and if you notice, like the ribbing on the top, just a very country look. Then these plants work great. Oops, I've got a string on there. This is actually from IKEA. I don't buy a lot of things from IKEA, but there are a few key pieces that I feel are really good value from there. And so we've got this. And then, of course, books. Books, especially old books, are such a great design element. So not only can they add color for you, but they actually add height, and they just add a little interest because they're from a different era. So one of the things I'll do, if you even go to American Furniture Warehouse, they've got books throughout the store, and you can buy them really inexpensively. So get the real deal. Don't get like a pretend book. Get the real hardcover book. And then over here, we're going to be working a lot with the pillows. So I've got an Afghan, and so these I pick up, various places. Sometimes I'll find them at Target. Sometimes I'll find them at Kohl's. A lot of times at Ross. Other times at Home Goods. But what I liked about this is it kind of has all the different colors in there. If you see, there's like a touch of gold in there. There's that rust color. And then even as we lean a little bit more into the reds. And when you get something that's multicolor, instantly it gives you a more casual look. So I'll show you how to use this. Then we've got the green pillows. I've got the staple kind of reddish rust pillows. I'll show you how to incorporate that. And this is one of my very favorite things to do. All right, so we've got the black and white. We need to carry that in from the dining room. And then I've got this beautiful color that's got this texture. It's like little roses on it, which is very country. But look at this, you guys. Let me find it here. This is a pillow cover. So you can buy these for very inexpensive. If you get them half price, I get it at Hobby Lobby. It can be as little as $3. And I'm like, I shouldn't really show you this, but I'm going to. Look at the ugly pillow that I have underneath. This was one of those from an old bedroom set that I repurposed. So I bet you have a few of those around as well. So we'll use that. And yes, it's true. Find the zipper. Here's another one. So my black and white element is from Hobby Lobby, pillow cover, and yes, it is another ugly bedroom covered pillow. So there we go. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll get started with the sofa. One of the things when you do country and just in my personal design, I love to have extremes in color because it creates a lot of interest. And this is just a plain taupe tan sofa. So let's bring it alive. So I want to start with this red. You always start with, if you have sort of a bigger pillow, you want to kind of put that first. So we're going to start with our framework of the rust red pillows on each side. Then what we're going to do is we're going to start to build the color from it. So we'll put a green one here. There's again my little karate chop. And because the dining room is right over to my left, I want to make sure that when you're looking at the dining room that you're seeing the tie-in to the black and white. So I'm actually going to add this black and white pillow right there. Okay, so we've got sort of a nice, I got to straighten it out, nice little framework for you. And you'll see me fuss. Boy, do I fuss with pillows, but I like them to be just right. All right, so on this side, we also want to bring in the green. So I'm going to go ahead and put the green here, but here I'm going to put this texture, okay? So it gives you a variety of colors, But also it's important that you bring in a variety of textures because it just keeps it interesting. And then when I grab this Afghan, there's a lot of different ways you can use an Afghan. It's actually a nice design element, but it also gives someone the comfort level that, wow, I could actually crawl up on that couch and take a nap or read a book. So what I'll probably do with this one is I'm going to bring it over here. I'm going to slip it under my pillow so that it creates a nice backdrop. Okay, so we've got that Afghan there. I'm going to fan it out a little bit, get that nice karate chop in there, and then kind of fan it out here. And there we go. We had a very plain sofa that has come to life. And so now we're going to go ahead and build on that with the other elements. So let's go on over here to the end table. So we've got a lamp here. I kind of like this lampshade for this look. It's not quite burlap, but it's got some nice texture and it just blends in well. It looks really nice with the wall behind it. So I'm going to put that love right there. Okay. So it does a couple of things. We've got black. And then if you kind of tie that in, it ties it into the black over here. Okay, so the elements, as you see, they're starting to work together. And then also, the love sign is tying into the black from the dining room. So when we look at it there, it looks great. I love the love sign, but I need to put a little color behind it and perhaps a little height. So as I'm looking around at my options, I think that this basket might look really nice behind there, but I need to give it a little height. So I'm going to take these books and I'm going to go ahead and place them here. And then I'm going to create the backdrop with the mums. Isn't that nice? Now that kind of brings it to life for you with some color. Now, one of the design elements too that you always want to keep in mind is things work really well in threes. And so as I'm looking at this table, I've got the lamp, I've got the mums, and I've got the love sign. And so I've got my three, and that's very pleasing to the eye. So again, as we take a look at what we've done so far, we've got the reddish burgundy mums. It's got a touch of rust to it that ties in to the pillow. It's got the nice black there to bring it all together. So far we're looking good. So now let's go ahead and tackle the coffee table. The candy would work really well on this coffee table. So again, we want to have a set of three where possible. So we've got the tall jar here with the candy corn. And then we've got the Harvest M&Ms here. And then we've got the peanut butter candy corn here, okay? But I have two the same height, and so I don't like that. I like to have a difference in height. So again, these books are awesome. So as I look at the colors of these books, ooh, they're nice and fall looking. I'm going to start with, let's put two under there. That might actually bring it a little too close to that other one. Let's do this. We're going to do one book to create the look. So here we go. So that's going to be our start. I've got all the candy, all different heights, so that's very pleasing to the eye. Now, this tray works out great. Again, it's got all the colors of the candy. Okay, so we're going to put that in front of it. And I'm going to add the mugs. And I'll kind of tilt it just that way. Okay. So now I've got a nice backdrop. I've got color here with the frame. I've got the mugs that tie in the off-white here, and it goes with the black and white. And I've got this nice variety of candy that brings all sorts of color and interest to the table. Now let's go ahead and we'll move over to the side end table. So what do I have left here? I have got 3 pieces left. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this book. Again, it's got some nice green elements. So let's go ahead and put that there. And I've got the plant. I'm going to go ahead and put that on top there. And I'm going to add this little sign. This is another very country look. It says, "Bless our home with love and laughter." And this is from Hobby Lobby. And when you get this 50% off, this is $2.50. And it also brings in the colors that we've been working with in the other parts of the home. So I'm going to add that there. Okay. And then maybe actually I'll put him over there and put our little bird there. There. Okay. So if you look, I'll stand out of the way here. So if you scan the room, we've got all the elements that include the green. We've got the rust that we turned a little bit into red. And then we've got the country look with our candy that has the black labels. We've got the black with the love, and it's full of color. Thank you so much for joining us today as we did our country casual look for a mountain home in Colorado. I hope you had as much fun as I did. I'm just really comfortable here, and I'm actually thinking I might enjoy a cup of coffee here before we move on to the next video. We are very excited to invite you to join us on my website, KarenConradHome.com. We've got a free ebook for you. And with that ebook, I share many more ideas for bargain prices to give you that designer look. So join us for our next video where we're going to be taking the same room and decorating it with a traditional look. Thank you again and have a blessed day.